What's up, everybody? This is Trysta. Please subscribe to This League. Tap the bell, comment below, and give us a like. What is wrong with Team USA? I mean, there's something wrong, right? There's something wrong.
Clearly.
It's bad.
No.
It's a lot worse than I think people think it is. Like, I was thinking about it, what was it, yesterday? Yesterday when they played, was that what it was? 8 a.m.? Yeah. 8 a.m. start time. That was a rough one to get up for, I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But lose to France, and it's like, you kind of thought that that was what was going to happen, but then you start to dissect it, and you're like, this is a much bigger issue than anyone is really discussing right now. Pop has been prepping this for this moment since legitimately February. We talked about this.
Yeah, no. How he said my mind is like focused on Team USA. Like,
on Team USA, yeah. We're like, I'm thinking about matchups against Iran. Like, he's been thinking about this entire time, and he's still wildly unprepared. Wildly unprepared. Some I think is his fault. For sure. Some of it is his not. Some of it's a weird COVID season. He thought maybe they would get some time, but he knew as soon as like the season began what the timeline was. I think it's part of his personality. It's part of like where we are in basketball. It's partly the FIBA stuff versus the NBA stuff. But fun levels have got to be at all-time lows for Team USA.
Yeah.
You got guys coming off of the NBA Finals, 3 guys that are out of shape. You can't do shit in Tokyo. Like, I don't know if you understand the protocols. I decided I was not going to go because of how bad the protocols. They're not going to do anything fun together. No team building exercises, nothing. No, like, hooker yacht like they had in Rio, where they had the yacht in the middle of the water, which they were doing God knows what. And I know some of the things that went on that I won't speak about publicly because I don't think they're for public consumption, but none of that.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even fuck.
They can't even fuck unless they're no.
Well, they're athletes. They can probably figure out a way to fuck standing up, but like still, those beds is a...
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about how the only thing that they could probably fuck was each other, but I thought that was a bridge too far of a joke.
Probably a little bit.
Too much. I mean, they can't find, unless you're going to find like COVID testers, like what's his name? Dennis House Jr. from Houston when he fucked the COVID tester in the bubble last year.
Oh, yeah.
But like, this is the first time in 24 Olympic Games that they have lost. They have the third time in 4 games, including exhibitions, that they've lost. They're 1-3 with a roster that has 9 fucking All-Stars. 9. Either current or former All-Stars, which seems to me downright impossible. But there's like a few things going on. One, the roster doesn't make any sense, Marty.
No, it really does. I mean, when you go down and look at it, I mean, there's plenty of all-stars here, but it just does not look like an Olympic USA roster. You
know, there's a thing. It's like you just grab a jumbled bag of items, and that's what this Team USA is. It's like there's no center, not one real true center, except for JaVale McGee, who has been bought out or cut or waived like 3, 4, 5 times in the last few years. Like, he's a champion, but he's really not. And he got like 2 minutes against France. 1 minute, 55 seconds, JaVale McGee got. Then you have Bam Adebayo, that's your other center. He's not even a real true center.
Yeah.
He's a 4. He's like he's a stretch 5. He's not a real bruiser. They got dominated because they were so small. And then you've got a bunch of wings and like a bunch of guards that are sort of all kind of the same, pure scorers. They're basically, and then you have Drew, right? Drew is the only guy that's playing hard, and he came off of a 6-game finals. Booker's having an existential crisis. He looks like Seth Curry now. What happened?
I don't know.
He shaved his head and now he's got a headband, and I'm like, you're unrecognizable, Devin Booker.
Yeah, he heard about my haircut and decided it was
time for a fresh start for Devin Booker. Like, they have no big men that can crash the boards. None. I mean, France had Gobert, Poirier, Batum, and Fournier. All those dudes are taller than 6'7". Dame can't play, won't play, ever play defense, ever. Bam Adebayo can't do shit on his own. Like, where's Jared Allen? Where's Christian Wood? Where is anyone? Jeremy Grant, who I think is a great, like, wing that can do multiple things, switch. He didn't even play at all. He got a fucking DNP at the Olympics. How do you do that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just too many problems with the roster. So that's one thing. The NBC knows they're an embarrassment. NBC knows because they wouldn't even put that game on NBC proper. I had to get somebody's Peacock login to watch that game live. And then it was on tape delay on NBC at 2 p.m. later. Like, what was on? What was on, you might ask? Do you know what was on NBC at 8 a.m.?
Ooh, what, like?
Fucking crew. Women's crew. Women's rowing, sand volleyball, 400-meter swimming relay qualifiers, women's 3-on-3 hoops. Like anything else besides fucking Gobert versus Bam Adebayo. Like, I don't get it. That they're like, this is going to be trash. And that was supposed to be the marquee, original, like, starting matchup. And NBC was like, we'll put anything else there.
I dig the 3-on-3 hoops, by the way.
Love 3-on-3 hoops. Guys aren't playing hard. No one's playing hard but Drew. And I think the worst thing is this. Like, this is where really it comes to a critical crux, which is, like, there's a standoff. There is a standoff between Popovich and his players. And now it's bubbling up to the ether where it's like, oh, shit. Like, they don't like each other. You've got Pop being like, not really wanting to bury them, you know? Like, he's talking, trying not to throw them under the bus. But the truth is, like, he's a fucking Gestapo. He's been this way his whole life. He's got a he's been preparing since February.
Right, yeah, no, that's all he's been thinking about.
He's been thinking about it since only that, since February. And he can't get them to run plays because they don't have any time together. But so he's running like these like general structural things. So there's like not quite order and not quite freedom.
Yeah. And
this team doesn't really know what to fucking do. He's not going to allow them to just hoop because that's not his way. Players are now being overheard being like, fuck this San Antonio bullshit. Literally. Like, some reporter overheard players say, we don't want to run this San Antonio bullshit.
Ooh.
Team USA players
it was Draymond.
It was Draymond. Let's be honest. It was KD and it was Draymond. Team USA players are frustrated, grumbling on their way back to the locker room being like, we don't want to run San Antonio offense. And Popovich is like, yeah, France is a fine team. They're a great team. We're not surprised when we lose. We're just disappointed. I don't understand the word surprise. That sort of disses the French team as we're supposed to beat them by 30. The gap in talent shrinks every year. There are more and more great players all over the world. Got to give the French team credit for playing well. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
This is not going to get better. We might fuck around and not medal.
I was thinking that. Yeah, no, I hate that quote by Pop. I mean, Evan Fournier is
he put
France's
30 on
leading
your head.
scorer. Yeah. No, so don't give me the like talent gap isn't there because it is. Like,
we know that Evan Fournier. Let's just recap who Evan Fournier is.
Yeah, don't Google
He is a third option on the Orlando Magic. Okay, and he put 30 on your 9 All-Star team. Gave you buckets on buckets, and you did not do anything to fucking stop him. These guys are playing like just dudes.
Yeah. I mean, he's on Boston now, but no.
Yeah, but that's what he was.
Yeah, no, which is very funny.
It was Vooch, and then it was Aaron Gordon, and then it was Fournier. And now, yes, he's on Boston, but like, you were at one point the third option on a team that has the number 5 pick in the fucking draft this year. Yeah. And you couldn't even get the ball in your hands as a primary scorer.
Yeah, so don't give me the talent gap isn't there. I hate that quote. I couldn't agree more. Hate that quote.
I just don't really like what Popovich is about. Like, he's on some bullshit right now.
I mean, how clocked out is he? Like, we figured he was clocked out for the regular season this year just because he wanted to stay around so he could coach this team. But it's like, now you're coaching this team. Like,
and you're still clocked out. And guy, you've already, it's the first game in the Olympics and you've already lost the locker room. It's the first game. Yo, you lost exhibition games to Nigeria and to Australia. You just got beat by France. You didn't score in the last like 2.5 minutes. Like, how do you have so many pure scorers and you can't get a bucket? quit. Just quit. Who else is on that team? Steve Kerr is coaching and Lloyd Pierce. Like, we might have to bring out Lloyd Pierce and his stick because
make a coaching change in the middle of the Olympics.
Coaching change. Sergeant Lloyd Pierce is going to have to start having these boys run suicides. Yeah. And there's no orgasm at the end of the rainbow in Tokyo. There's no fun little, I don't know where you would go for that, but I know that there are places.
Yeah, Jerry Colangelo releases a statement. We've decided to mutually part ways with
wouldn't that be amazing? Team USA and Gregg Popovich have decided to mutually agree to part ways before the second game in the Olympics against Iran. Because he was telling Damian Lillard, bro, you're not that good because you can't play defense. I mean, none of these guys are playing defense. I don't get it. As I believe, if I had to guess, we won't. There is a non-zero probability that we won't medal.
Mm-hmm. Which is outrageous.
That is outrageous. What is also outrageous, folks, is that you need to just place your bets now for Luka as MVP. Like, just place them. Because one team disappointing, everyone expects them to just walk their asses to gold. And another team who has a bunch of, I don't even know what they are, like plumbers and Luka. Slovenia beat Argentina by fucking 18 points. They put up 118 points in 40 minutes. In 40 fucking minutes. Luka had 48, 11, and 5, shooting 18 for 29 and 6 for 14 from 3. Second most points ever in the Olympics behind Oscar Schmidt's 55 back in 1988. So we haven't seen this in modern memory. Mm-hmm. It was at like 1 a.m., so I didn't watch it live, but the highlights are incredible. And our guy Luka loves to party. He loves to chill by the beach. He loves to do his I mean, he's got like the Adriatic Islands or whatever it is on his shoulder blade. So you know he's about that life. And now he doesn't even have enough time to get out of shape.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna be doing this Olympic thing until the 12th of August. And then you've got like 3 weeks and then you're back at training camp. How fat can you get in 3 weeks, really?
We'll see. That was just such an impressive performance. I mean, his only teammate that I recognize is Goran Dragic's brother that had a brief stint with the Suns. That's the only one that I recognize.
Was that like a Thanasis Antetokounmpo situation where it's like, yeah.
Totally.
Where it's like, I need my brother on this team,
the Suns had a stretch where we had the least talented brother for like a while.
Duo.
Like we had Taylor Griffin was on our team.
You had
Markieff Morris. There's another one that I'm not thinking. Robin Lopez.
Oh, yes.
That
was a sad time.
Yeah.
You had Alex Len at one point, didn't you? Drafted him. You drafted Alex Len. That was number 2 pick?
Number 5.
Number 5 pick.
Over Giannis.
Fuck, dude.
Not that he was going to go there, but still.
But if you're Luka and he is playing this well right now, and if Slovenia ends up medaling when they've got him and plumbers and we have 9 all-stars and we don't take gold or we don't medal, like this is maybe the grossest international display. Like we should be embarrassed. We have no personal pride for our country and fucking Luka's out here balling for Slovenia. I cannot wait for the U.S. to play Slovenia. Luka is going to bully these people. Bully him. I don't even know who's going to guard him. Bam? Like, he's too big for everyone.
You throw Drew at him?
I guess. Yeah. But he's so short compared to Luka. Luka could just shoot over him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
Team USA better figure their shit out. They need to figure their shit out.